everyone. Welcome to Colorful Pages. I hope you all are doing very well. Today I am back again with a very simple easy tutorial which has been designed specially for those who want to try a hand in hand embroidery, that is needlework. Now this tutorial is designed with very simple stitches. You are going to learn all the basic embroidery stitches in this tutorial. About the material, I will be explaining the tutorial itself. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. The material which we require to start with this beautiful needlework project is this. Now what is this? This is an embroidery hoop which we use. How to use it? There is this screw over here. You have to hold this part of this and loosen from this point and press the inner circle. If you will see, you will find two circles here. So the inner circle, press. So when you are going to press the inner circle, it is going to come out and you are going to get two embroidery hoops. Actually it is one embroidery hoop but two parts of it, so both the parts are going to get separated. Now I will take one rough paper. So any rough paper you have at home, just keep this embroidery hoop in one corner of the rough paper. If in case you don't have a white rough paper, you use any paper. You can use a copy ruled line paper, or you can use a newspaper also, and quickly draw a circle inside this. Once you draw the circle, you need to just cut this circle. This is a very easy way of doing this project. Now don't worry about cutting this circle in lot of perfection, because as it is, this is a just a kind of rough draft. Alright, so even if your circle is not cut very nicely, you don't have to be scared in any case. Now just remove this extra piece of paper. You have a circle. Just fold the circle in half. Just fold it nicely from the center in half. Okay, now we want to give it a heart shape, but I want this heart shape to be little smaller than this hoop from which we have taken the measurement. So what we do in this case, we are going to make a dot like this and a dot like this, which is roughly, you can see, one finger and little more. I will take one finger space. Okay, and what you do, you draw a heart shape. So once you draw a heart shape, like this, okay, you need to cut it, and you know how you are going to cut it. You are going to cut it with the help of a scissor. So like this, you are going to cut the heart shape which you have just sketched. Okay, so the heart shape is just ready in front of you. Okay, let us keep this aside. Now what we need? We need a cloth. So I am using, for now, in front of you, I am keeping this cotton cloth. I am using a cotton cloth. I would have preferred using cambric cotton. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now. So I am using a normal cotton cloth. Okay. This hoop, the one complete hoop. Okay. The one with the screw, I am not using it. I am using the complete circle. Complete circle, keep it on the table from one edge. Alright, just spread your cloth and keep this hoop, the complete hoop, on the top. Once you keep it on the top in one corner, alright, just keep in mind that you are leaving at least 2 finger space from the two sides like this. See, I have measured 2 finger space here and 2 finger space I have measured here.
So after measuring this 2-finger space, what I will do, I will also measure from other sides 2-finger space. So from here, and all this is very rough. You no need to be very particular or calculative about doing this part. So like this, from all the sides, roughly measure the 2-finger space. Once you have done, what you need to do is roughly, very roughly, just draw one circle. See, I am using this 1/2 meter cloth I have got from the market. But if I am going to hold 1/2 meter cloth in my embroidery hoop and then I will try to embroidery, it will be just too heavy for me to hold and do this embroidery work. So why not cut the extra part and use the part only which is required. And for those who are thinking about the diameter about my this hoop, it is around 14 centimeter. The diameter of this hoop is around 14 centimeter. I'll keep this aside and I'm going to now finally cut this rough circle which I have drawn like this. I'm sure everyone knows cutting. Nobody will say that ma'am is so funny, she is teaching us how to cut. Still, that's my duty and I need to do that. No need to be again very perfection, you don't need to show while you are cutting this. Even if it is little haywire, it is okay. Only thing is that your this cloth should be bigger than your hoop. The size of the cloth should be bigger than that of your hoop. Okay, so let me keep the bigger cloth aside and now I will keep the hoop down, the round hoop. I will keep on top of it this cloth and see that it should be in center of this cloth. Now I am going to take this, the one with the screw, and I am going to press and attach it. Now once we have pressed, what I will do, from the sides, all the sides 360 degree, I am going to stretch the cloth nicely. After stretching the cloth, I am going to hold the screw and I am going to tighten this frame. So you can see I am able to tighten it. And how to check? Hold your cloth, touch your cloth from the center. See, it should not be very loose. If still you find it to be loose, just again stretch the cloth from all the sides. You need to pull it downwards like this, like I am doing, and then hold the screw and again just tighten it. So now you touch and see that it is perfect. So this heart which we have cut out of this rough paper, I will keep it right in the center of my cloth, and with the help of a pencil I am going to just trace the entire thing, the entire shape on the cloth. So very simple this process is, and like this it is done. So this is the heart ready, traced on the cloth. I'm going to just from the center, this center point and this center point, I'm going to join with the help of a scale using the pencil like this. Okay, now the next thing which I will do is I want 1 centimeter lines on either side. So the broadest area, this is the broadest area of the heart. So I'm going to keep my scale like this over here, and this is around 10 centimeter if you will see. So 5 is right in the center. I'm going to mark like this. Every 1 centimeter I am marking like this, every 1 centimeter. So it is 7, 8, 9, finally 10. So 10 centimeter across, and again I'll come down, and again from the center I am going to mark same process 1 centimeter. So from here 5, I am going back to 4, 3, 2 and 1. This side also after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and only 9 is coming. Now I'm going to join these lines. This has to be done like this. See, so if you're going to join it like this, you are going to get lines of 1 centimeter across your heart. So this is how easily you can do that. But when you are joining the lines, make sure this point and this point you are connecting on the scale first. Please don't be in hurry of drawing the line. You need to make straight lines. These straight lines will happen only when you first take an effort to join both these lines on the scale. Then you draw with the help of pencil. You can use a normal pencil. No need of using like this technical pencil like I am using. This was actually placed near me, so I just picked it up and I am drawing this entire thing with this. You can use any normal pencil, HB pencil which you use for writing. You can use that same pencil for drawing these lines. In fact, normal pencil will be much better than this mechanical pencil which I am using. So almost I have finished joining all these lines, and the last one small line which is left over here. See, so like this across I have joined all the lines. Now I need thread. I always use anchor thread because personally I feel that anchor thread, the color never bleeds. So this is my favorite thread which I use. This is not a promotional video, but it is just that anchor threads are my favorite. I have been using them since my childhood actually for doing embroidery work. Now these two black thing, you need to bring it together and it should touch each other like this. So once it is done, you will find an loose thread coming out. See, I found it on my left hand side. You are just going to take out like this one good length of the thread. Please do not take too big length of the thread. Let it be moderate. Okay, if you will take too big length, it will just keep on troubling you. Unnecessary, it will get tangled. Now full I am using anchor thread. If you will see, it has 6 plies. These are called plies. I will show you. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6. So one thread is a composition of 6 small threads, right? So like this I am going to use entire 6 ply. Now this is the needle which I use for embroidery, and this is again Pony company needle. I like this a lot because they are quite smooth, and I have selected one needle. How to select needle is another issue which I have seen many people fail to understand. See, when you are selecting a particular needle, see that you are using 6 ply of anchor thread. So when you are using 6 ply of anchor thread, the eye of the needle, see this portion, this is called the eye of the needle. This has to be that big so that your all 6 ply passes through the eye of the needle like this very smoothly. After putting the thread in the needle, you will see that you have 2 sides of thread. So like this one and the second one. See, one, the thread which is longer, the side which is longer, you will need to make a knot over there like this. So simply just make a knot on the longer side. Now if I will show you again, you can see that this is the smaller side of the thread, yes, and this is the longer one where I have made the knot. Now simply take this needle and right from the back side of this cloth you have to take out the needle from the center line of this heart. I am teaching you first very simple stitch which is called the running stitch. Now once you have taken out this thread from the back side of this cloth, what you can do, since you are the beginner, what you can do is you can take a pencil and you can draw small hyphens like this. Now once you learn how to do it, then you need not do such process, but initially in the starting you can just draw like this some hyphens. See, I will be teaching you first with the help of hyphen, and then later I will be teaching you without the hyphens. So first step is you have taken out your needle, your thread from here, and right where your hyphen ends you can put down the needle right under the cloth, and you will pull the string like this. Now what? Now take out from the outside from the another hyphen which you have made. See, like this, and where it ends you put down your needle over there and pull the thread. See, like this. Now again I will take out, and again I am going to put the thread down like this. So this is a very basic stitch. It's called running stitch. Again I am going to take out the thread. Now this is the easy method which I have explained you, like drawing the hyphen and then doing the running stitch. But more easy and more convenient is directly doing it. See, the thread is out here. Hold the thread with your left hand side, and little distance from here, from starting, put your needle inside, and then take a small pick. This little piece of cloth which you are seeing on my needle is called pick. So you take a slight small pick, again you put down the needle in the cloth and take another small pick. See, like this. Again the same thing, move ahead, put the needle down under the cloth and take another small pick. Now observe one thing very carefully. See, these two pick, 1, 2, 3, all these 3 picks are of the same size, and this gap which you are seeing here is also of almost the same size. It may vary little bit less or little bit more, but mostly it should remain same size. So once you have done this, you will just push the needle, and from the other side you are going to take out the needle, and you will see that you have in one go made a few. So sometimes this gets tangled. When it gets tangled you can detangle it. See, you can make a few like this running stitch. Again same thing I am repeating. See, I am putting my needle inside the cloth. I have taken a small pick, then again I put my needle inside the cloth. Again I have taken a small pick. Again I am putting the needle inside the cloth and I have taken a small pick. See, again this pick area, all the 3 picks are of same size, and the gap is again of same size. Now why I am speaking always about the gap? Because the gap here which you are seeing where from the needle is visible, this gap will be actually the thread, the place where the thread will be visible. So like this you are going to pull the thread, and this is how, see, the complete line of running stitches visible to you. So very easy process, very easy process, and very interesting process. This is easy and interesting. See, it will not take a lot of time. I don't know if you would have noticed this stitch somewhere or not, but this stitch is really used in kantha work. Kantha work is a very special kind of embroidery, and this running stitch is one of the main element of that kantha stitch. So if you want to become kantha embroidery expert, this one stitch will always be very beneficial for you. So you must learn this nicely. See, so sometimes this thread, it gets tangled. Whenever it is so, you can just with your hand correct and untangle it. And see, just while talking to you, I have almost finished my center line. See how easy it is. So simple, so easy, and extremely beautiful. Here it goes, and finally, and I'm going to end this. Now ending, if you will see that my needle is gone under the cloth, and in this way, see, my line is complete. Now what I require is, I will turn the cloth and I will make a knot here. How I make a knot? Just nearby thread you have to use like this, and see, now this area I will again put my needle through this thread, and when I'm doing so, I found a loop here. If you can see, this is a loop. Okay, so in this loop again I have to pass my needle through and hold this with your thumb. This thumb you must see, hold it tight, and you have to nicely pull it. So once you pull it, your knot is done nicely. So once the knot is done, I will suggest that again from little distance, again one more like this. If you pass it through, then you actually cut it, your extra thread will never come out. See, now this looks neat from the back also, and it looks very neat from the front also. Now the same line I'm going to do here, and I'm going to do here. The running stitch now you see is looking so pretty. I'm teaching you the basics, and see, even in the basics we are going to form some nice pattern for the embroidery. The next embroidery we are going to learn with this yellow color thread. Okay, the same anchor thread I'm using, yellow color, and we will be learning now very easy chain stitch. How we do chain stitch? Same process. First step is take out your needle from under the cloth like this. Always remember, when you are doing chain stitch, keep your thread under the left hand thumb. This is the most important trick which you can do when you are making chain stitch. Now when your thread is under your left hand thumb, from the place from where you have taken out your needle, same place you are going to put the needle back and take out the needle little ahead. Now when you are going to do this, remember that the thread should always be under the needle. Can you see? The thread is right under the needle. I'll show you like this. See, and when it is at the correct position, that means under the needle, you just need to pull your thread like this. See, when you are going to pull your thread like this, it is going to form a beautiful chain. Remember, when you are going to make this chain, don't pull this thread harsh, otherwise the chain is going to look really ugly. Now again, one chain is done. Keep your thread under the left hand thumb again, and from the middle of this chain, from the place where this thread is coming out, that is this place. Now this place is where? This place is inside the first chain, and put your needle there and take out the needle in again ahead in the line. When you are doing so, again keep the thread right under the needle. Can you see the thread is right under the needle? And now you will make another chain when you are going to pull the thread. Don't be very harsh in pulling the thread like this. See how beautiful this chain is. Now second chain. Now let's go make the third chain. Again put your thumb with the help of this thread, hold with the thumb your thread and put your needle right near the place where your this thread is coming out inside the chain, and take it out in some on the same line little ahead, and thread is under the needle and you are going to pull this like this. See, simple. Now I'll do fast. If you want, you can again make some small hyphens here, but I will suggest to do it with your idea, because every time it is a waste of time making the hyphens. So like this. Only remember, you can see that I am holding the thread every time with my left hand thumb, and inside the chain, previous chain, you are going to put your needle and take out little ahead. See, this is the process of chain stitch. Now chain stitch which I am teaching you is very basic. There are different kind of chain stitches also, which I will be teaching you further in the tutorial. Maybe I will make one tutorial only for chain stitches, but right now this tutorial I have designed specially for beginners, so that they can at least learn the name of basic stitches and they can use it for making pretty embroidery pieces. And see, like this I am going to finish this line, the entire line, this one and also this one. Both the sides of the running stitch I will do chain stitch. If you will go specific, this chain stitch is also called closed chain stitch. Otherwise you can also call it simple chain stitch, but because there are so many varieties of chain stitch, this one particularly is called the closed chain stitch. Why it is called the closed chain stitch? Because you see both the ends here, they are closed. Can you see this? All these ends, they are closed. That is why this is called the closed chain stitch. So now I have come at the end of this chain. I don't want to extend it more. So there is a very important point which I want to make clear at this stage, is that now I have to close the embroidery. So for closing this particular embroidery, the particular chain stitch, I need to put the needle down under the cloth. But this time there is a difference. What is the difference? That now I am not putting the needle inside here, that is inside the first chain. I have to put this needle down under the cloth just after this chain, that is over here, like this. If I will put it inside this chain, then my whole embroidery will open. So I need to be very clear that this thread, you bring it down and see that the chain is not disturbed, and you are putting your thread right after the chain in the cloth like this. So this is how it is done, and you see that the chain is properly fixed now. Okay, this is one point which needs to be taken care when you are doing when you are closing a chain stitch. And go back, and the process of knotting is just exactly the same as I have told you earlier for the running stitch. So this is the way you make a hoop and make one knot, and finally just like this under the nearby thread, pass on the needle and cut it
close. See how beautifully the chain and the running stitch are there. The same chain stitch I will do on this line now. The chain stitch is also complete now, and running already I have done with the red color. Now I will start teaching you stem stitch. For the stem stitch I am using this green color anchor thread. Again I have used the entire set of the thread, that is the 6 ply of anchor thread I am using, which is complete thread in itself, for teaching you this stitch. Now by the name only you will be able to understand that this is used for generally making stem. That is why it is called stem stitch. Now stem stitch we start from the top. I am sure you must have noticed that in running stitch I started from down. Also when I was doing chain stitch I started from down. That means from downwards I move upwards, but in stem stitch I will start from up and gradually I will move downwards. First take out the thread like this from down up to the cloth. This time again keep your thread towards your left hand side. Hold the thread every time with your left hand thumb. Now move a bit down and right in center of this space. See, this is the total area which I am using. So right half over here. Okay, I am going to take out the needle like this, and I will take out from here like this, following the sketched straight line. So like this I am going to pull the thread. If your thread gets collected, it is always better to first correct it. See, like this. Alright, you can see that this is the entire line, and right in the center of this line this thread came out. Okay, now again this thread should be right under your left hand thumb. Now move a bit down and take out the needle just very next to this area. So you are going to take out the needle very close, very next to this, like this. See how neat stem stitch it will be. See, like this. So this process will keep on going like this only. See, nice stitch it is going to form. Again move a bit down, take out right from the, you can either take out right from the center or very close to this, and see, very straight, very beautiful stem stitch you are seeing now. Easy way of doing it. You can also sometimes slow the video and see how the stitches are done if it seems to be a bit fast for you to understand in this speed. You can always go to the setting and slower the time, the speed of this tutorial to watch it more carefully. And this is how the stem stitch is done. See how neat it is coming.
very pretty. So in the same way I will finish this line and this line with the help of stem stitch. We are about to finish this entire line, and I want to show you how I will close this stem stitch, because you have learned how to start it, but now you must know how to close it also. So this is the last, you see, if I am going to now make this stitch over here, this will be the last stitch of this current line. So what I do, I will keep the thread again on left. It is very important to keep your thread on left hand side when you are doing this stem stitch. It should not be that your thread is dancing here or it is here any of the times. Always, every time, this has to be on the left hand side. Now simply you come to the allotted area. Suppose this is the end of, for me, for this current line for in this design. So I am just going to put my needle down right under the cloth, and the same process which I do always used for knotting. See, now you can see nice and rich and vibrant this line is. Now we will just turn it back and we are going to knot it as we always do. Same process, make a hoop and followed by one knot, and then any nearby thread you have to just once or twice take the thread so that your thread is not coming out extra, and with the scissor just trim it. Now we will start this line with same stem stitch. Finally finished the stem stitch also. Now we are going to use this beautiful mauve color thread and we will do this line which is next to stem stitch. We are going to do back stitch. Now back stitch embroidery also moves from down to up, but there is a little twist here that you must have noticed. In all these embroideries which we have done, we started either from the base starting or from the top starting. But when we are supposed to do back stitch, by the name only you must understand that we have to go back. So what we do, we will not start from here, but we are going to start from here, little here, and I will make some few dots here to which is going to kind of help you understand the concept of back stitch very easy. Now this back stitch is supposed to be, it is recognized as the very strong stitch. So if we have to make some place very strong, we always use back stitch for that. Even for stitching, sometimes we do stitching and we don't want to use sewing machine, we can do small area, small patches of stitching with the help of back stitch also. Now see, I will bring this very close to you so that you are able to see. See these dots which I have made, I am going to take out from here. Now see, this line, this heart shaped line is down, and I am not starting on the heart shaped line. I am starting from this dot which is little ahead the heart shape design, like this. So I have taken out my string, the thread. Again I am keeping my left thumb for holding the thread. Now I am going back to the design here, and where I am going to take out, I am going to take out in this next dot. You see, it is back stitch. The first thing which is happening here is going back and then moving ahead. Now I am going to take out the string like this. Okay, again the string should go on your left, under your left thumb. Now see, from the point where you have taken out the first string, you are going to put your needle right into the same point again inside. Now again pull it like this, and you will take out your string where? On the next dot, like this. See, now you have to put your string back into the cloth, where you will do? In this dot. So every time you will see that you move little ahead, and for moving ahead what you do is coming back first. That is why this stitch is called back stitch. See, now I am going to do like this only. So I move little ahead only when I move backward. See, now moving forward, what I have to do? I have to first move back. So that is why this stitch is called back stitch. See, this is a very beautiful stitch. It's a liner stitch. Liner stitch means this stitch, with this stitch you can do outlines. That is why this stitch is called a liner stitch. Same way, stem stitch is also a liner stitch. But running stitch and chain stitch is also used as a filling stitch. Yes, it is a liner stitch, but many embroideries it is used as filler stitch also. See now how I am doing this stuff. You can see now without the help of dots also I am doing it. So I go back and then I take out my needle little forward from this, the point where this thread is coming out. So this area and this area, both the areas are absolutely equal. Yes, of course it is embroidery, it is handwork, so it may be little less or little more. You need not worry about that, but basically try to keep both these equal. See, like this. Now without the help of dots also, how easily you can do this embroidery. So this video will be very beneficial for the beginners who want to try learning the embroidery and make good stuff, handmade, personalized stuff with embroidery. See how easy it is. Isn't it too pretty and too easy? So because every time we go back for moving forward, that is why this is called a back stitch. And I will do this line and this line with the same back stitch. The next stitch which we are going to learn is called the split stitch. For the split stitch, I am using this orange color anchor thread with the same needle which I have been using earlier. Now again there are the two ends of the thread. As you can see, the longer one has a knot and the other one is without a knot, that is, it is free. First thing which we need to do is to take out the needle, the thread from under the cloth. Now this stitch also goes from up to down like this, and keep a little distance and put your needle back again inside the cloth like this. So once this is done, you will again take out the needle, but this time you will take out the needle right from between of this, the previous line. So if you can see, this is the previous line. I will take out my needle right from between of this previous line like this, and again I am going to
move down in a little distance. You can see I have taken a very small distance like this. Again the thread and the needle will go down, and I will further take out the thread right in front in the center of the previous stitch like this. See, you can see this is right in the center. Yes, I am sure you are able to see this. Now pull the thread nicely, and this is done. Again you will take a little distance and put your needle and thread back again. So this is called the split stitch. I am sure you are able to understand the split stitch, the name. Why this is called split stitch? Because it always splits the thread into half. Now half, maybe you are not calculating exactly the half, but roughly you will understand that the thread comes out in between the 6 strands of the anchor threads which you are using. So maybe sometimes it is 4 and 2, maybe sometimes it is equal 3 and 3. So there is no need of worrying too much about this equal thing, but only that it splits the previous stitch. That is more important. So here you see it's a very beautiful stitch. This is called the liner stitch. Why it is called the liner stitch? Because with the help of this split stitch we are able to make outline. So this is the process, how easily and beautiful straight line we are able to make with the help of split stitch. See. After finishing this beautiful split stitch which I have done with the orange color, now I will proceed towards making the outline of this heart, and this I will do using a very beautiful whipped stitch. Now this whipped stitch is a combination of 2 stitches. Stitch number 1 is running, which I will do with 1 thread, and stitch number 2 is whipping. Now this whipping I will do with another color thread so that it is nicely visible to you. The first step for making this embroidery is to take out your thread like this from under the cloth and do running stitch on it first. Now running stitch, I am sure you remember, this one is the running stitch. So this running stitch I am going to do on the entire outline of this heart. After finishing making this entire heart with the running stitch, now I will teach you how to do whipping on it. For whipping, again I have taken another color of anchor thread, in which the same thing I have done is on the longer end I have made a knot over here, and the smaller end of the thread is not having any knot, as you can see. Now this I will take out thread right from here, that is near the stitch, the running stitch, the first running stitch, like this. What I will do now is to be seen very carefully. I will use the back side of the needle like this, and I will pass this through the black running stitch. Now you can see I am not going under the cloth. I am passing it through this running stitch like this, simply. That also from the back side of the needle like this. And then next, every time I am passing the thread from right hand side towards the left hand side, like you are seeing in front of you. Sometimes this anchor thread does get tangled. You can just simply, without pulling it, just very loosely, you can just untangle it also. See, it's a very beautiful stitch. It's called whipping stitch. Now I am doing whipped chain stitch. Sorry, whipped running stitch. This is running stitch. So I am doing whipped running stitch. Again I am doing it with the back side of the needle. So this whole process I will continue till the heart. Very easy, simple and beautiful outline stitch. This one is the running whipped stitch. See how nice it looks. Can you see the two colors? Beautiful black and vibrant blue. So I have come at the end of this whipping stitch, this heart. So the last one I want to show you so that you will be clear how to end it. For ending again, this last one I am going to, the last running stitch I am going to whip like this, followed by the thread here. So from where I have taken out the thread in the starting, this blue thread, over there only I am going to put the needle back and press it down so that the thread goes right away down. So you can see now this stitch is looking so pretty and the thread is also neatly, it went down. From the back side I have already taught you how to lock the stitch, but this one also I can tell you again is any thread which is nearby, you can just pass your needle through it, and in the same way as you have locked the other stitches, the same process is followed in this case also. I am telling you how to do it practically also. Just see, and here it goes. You can see the stitches nicely packed. Now again, once again pass through any nearby thread and you just need to cut it. Simple. And see now how nice and beautiful this stitch looks. All these stitches which are required, the basic for the learners, for the beginners, are right in front of you. So this DIY embroidery project for the beginners is absolutely ready, but we have to do finishing of this cloth which we have cut here. For doing the finishing, we will now turn this back side and I will use a normal, again 6 ply of anchor thread which has two ends. The longer end has a knot and the smaller end is without a knot. Now this back side we have to do running stitch. So what we do is we will take out the needle from the cloth like this and we will start making the running stitch. Very easy and simple, but one thing remember, you can just loosen this thread. You can see I am taking out this thread little long like this and I am just leaving it. This will be done
later it will help in closing this embroidery. So like this, simply take a few running stitch like this, and just make sure that you leave this end like this, little extra, I mean to say, you have to leave it. So like this, roughly also you can do. There is no need to be very worried about making a nice circle. Even if you do it roughly, you will not face any problem. So quickly we are going to finish this. So now I have come to the end of this. You can see this is the place from where I have started, and I had left this small anchor thread piece over here, and this is the place where I have ended. So I'm going to take out my needle from here, then remove the needle from the thread like this. Simply just remove it, and what you see is that at this place you can see the joint. See, this is the starting place and this is the ending place. What you need to do is just hold it tight like this, and you can just stretch it. When I am stretching from both the sides, you can see this came inside. Can you see how nicely it came inside? Yes. And then what you do, like you tie your shoelace, just stretch it nicely and give a knot. So 1 or 2 knots will be sufficient for this, like this. Just hold it nicely. Maybe 1 more knot is required. You will be needing 2 or 3 knots. Just give it a simple nice knot. See how easily the finishing is done. What else is required is the extra thread. It needs to be cut. I'll show you from front now how it looks. See, isn't it neat and clean? Front and the back. But no, it is not yet over. What I will do is I will hide this area also. For doing this, I am taking a handmade paper. This is a leftover handmade paper which I had at home, and I will keep my embroidery hoop on this like this. I will take a pen or a pencil and I will draw a circle. Just kind of tracing this circle only. So like this, I am going to simply trace the circle. So after tracing the circle, I am going to remove this and kind of make a smaller circle, little smaller than this, roughly again. If you want too much of perfection, you can use a compass for doing so, but for me I can work without compass also very easily. You may use a compass, or you may use any circular, some plate or something to draw the circle if you find it difficult to draw it. And like this I am going to cut. I am cutting the smaller circle. It's not necessary always to kind of use a fresh paper for the back. Generally I like to use the old stuff more. So this was an old paper lying with me which I thought I will recycle, and I am going to make it the back of my embroidery hoop. So I'll show you how it will look like this. You are turning the embroidery back side, and this is exactly very good size. What I do now is I'm going to use Fevicol, and I am going to stick this. So simply just take Fevicol or any adhesive which you have. You can use fabric glue also. Fabric glue is also very easy and good to use like this. Just apply it all around and take the paper, and the paper you are going to paste it like this. Hold it for a while. No need to be worried about this extra glue which is coming out, white, which you are seeing, because when it dry it is going to be transparent, and if you are going to unnecessary fidget with it, it is going to become very dirty. So try avoid doing so. So like this, just press it a bit and leave it on one side. Now this area is sticked nicely, the back side is done nicely. I want to hide this screw area. For that I have taken a satin ribbon like this. This is 1 centimeter long satin ribbon, and around half meter I have taken. So I'm going to use my these 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and I will keep it little far from each other, as you can see. Now I am going to wrap this satin ribbon 1, 2, 3 times around, and then what I will do, right from the center, that is the middle finger, I am going to take it inside, like under, okay, like this, and I will bring it forward. So now I have this starting, this point, and then I have the ending, that is this point. This I will make a knot over here. So this is a bit tricky thing, but the end result will be wonderful. So like this, just keep it in the center and make a knot with it. So this way, see, so this way you got a nice beautiful bow. This seems to be little smaller, for that I am going to just pull it like this. So this nice beautiful bow is really very good to hide this screw. You will keep it like this, and with the help of these 2 ends, that is this end and this end, you are going to tie it right under the screw so that this fixes nicely. See, I am just opening and showing you from this area. So you're going to just tie a knot like this at the back side. So once you tie this, then you can straighten it, and whatever you want to do with it can be done, but the first step is just tying it. Again the extra I will cut. So like this, if you see that your very beautifully this knot is also hidden. So little setting you have to do, little up and down you can do with your this, so that you are hiding your screw, and this extra piece, this one, you will trim it. So this got removed. Finishing, tie it nicely, and see how pretty your embroidery hoop is looking now. Isn't it very beautiful?
I am sure you all have learned the basic embroidery stitches very nicely, and this is the first part of it. Slowly I will be teaching you more stitches. This one I started with the basic liner stitches, and I'm sure you have learned all that very nicely. You can see the running stitch over here, followed by the chain stitch, the back stitch, the stem stitch, and this outlining stitch which you are seeing here, this beautiful blue color, black and blue, this is the running stitch which is whipped by a blue color. So black is the running and blue is the whipping stitch. So this is a combination of 2 stitches here. I know you all have seen this from front, and you have also seen how I have hidden this knob. Now you can hang it also on the wall just like this, so that it becomes a memory for you, and you always do remember how nicely and beautifully you have learned the hand embroidery. I am very sure you have enjoyed doing this tutorial with me. Stay tuned for more creative videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Stay healthy, stay happy, keep learning always.